The 2026 Bentley Bentayga Speed. We have quite a big update here, but if you are actually interested in ordering this new model, you may do so from Bentley of High Point, North Carolina. This is actually the very first Bentley dealership in the United States, and they are taking orders for the Bentayga Speed, and they are able to ship nationwide. So I will have Chris Rivas and his phone number on the screen and in the description box for you to contact. But let's get started with the highlights first. This new model, it's going to be powered by a twin-turbo V8, producing 641 horsepower and 627 pounds-feet of torque. So gone is the W12, and this is just the twin-turbo V8. It is not the plug-in hybrid powertrain found in the new Continental GT and the new Flying Spur. Top speed has gone up by 3 miles per hour from the previous W12. This now does 193 miles per hour top speed with a 0 to 60 time of 3.4 seconds. Bentley claims that this new model is faster and more agile than the preceding W12 Bentayga Speed. We also get new 23-inch wheels exclusive to the Speed model with carbon ceramic brakes. We have a new sport mode with 15% stiffness increase over the Bentayga V8, the regular model, and we also have enhanced torque vectoring as well for the Speed model. We have a new dynamic ESC mode, which allows for on-throttle slip angles, or in other words, a quote-unquote drift mode for the Bentayga. Not their words, that's mine, but we also get a full launch control as well. Both of these features, that is going to be a first time for a Bentayga. And as standard, you will be getting a sports exhaust with this Speed model, but you can also get an optional titanium Akrapovic exhaust. I also did a test on the 2025 Bentayga S Black Edition, and it did come with the sport exhaust. That sounded incredible. This new optional titanium Akrapovic should sound epic. But moving on, we have brake calipers that are now available in 7 different accent colors. We have visual features, which include the dark tint brightwear, dark tint headlamp internals, and a gray taillight with dark tint bezel. Regarding the interior, we have precision diamond quilt design with dark tint air vents and badging, and exclusive speed color splits as well for your interior. Those are your highlights. Let's get into some of these details now. Bentley claims that this new Bentayga Speed is the most powerful Bentley SUV yet, and that is true. This twin-turbo V8 does produce more horsepower than the previous W12 Speed. However, this new model does produce a little bit less torque compared to the previous W12. Previous W12 Speed, it produced 626 horsepower and 664 pounds-feet of torque. This new model, as mentioned before, it has 641 horsepower and 627 pounds-feet of torque. Many people were sad that Bentley got rid of the W12, and initially I was too, because I love the early model W12s, but I have to say, after testing some of the newer Bentleys with the W12 engine, I noticed they really hushed that engine and took away some of its character, while over time, Bentley actually increased the character and the sound of the V8 engines. I'm telling you, the twin-turbo V8 from Bentley, it has such a rich and soothing tone. It just melts in your ear. And yes, I understand the twin-turbo V8, it is shared with other models like the Lamborghini Urus, the Porsche Cayenne, etc. But the way Bentley tunes the sound of the V8, it is truly breathtaking. So I personally do not miss the W12. Besides, Bentley was always famous for their V8 engine, actually. Bentley V8s have been iconic throughout history. But anyway, let's get back to this Bentayga Speed. Aside from increased power and performance, we also have the most dynamic chassis setup ever offered on the Bentayga, including for the first time ever, the ability to generate on-throttle slip angles, the quote-unquote drift mode that I mentioned before. We have that enhanced sport chassis mode and a new ESC dynamic setting, and it gives you the choice between enhanced road handling or the ability to slide the car on power. Honestly, quite a fun and exciting sounding SUV for sure. All the vehicles in the Audi Porsche family, they're not all the same. They all have their own distinctive character and attributes that differentiate all of them, and the way these vehicles are tuned are all completely different. Regarding 0 to 60 time, I already mentioned that this new 2026 Speed, it'll do 60 in 3.4 seconds. This is 1 second quicker than a regular V8S Bentayga, which does 4.4 seconds, 0 to 60. The previous W12 Bentayga speed achieved a 3.9 second, 0 to 60 time. So this new model is clearly quicker. Bentley also claims that this engine, it's not only more powerful than its predecessors, aside from the torque, but Bentley says that this engine, it's also got more character as well. And that's what I've been talking about. The exhaust note is so good, and with the Bentayga speed, it just comes naturally equipped with the sports exhaust system as standard. And they say that if you want a more thrilling soundtrack, you can get that optional titanium Akrapovic exhaust. I already love the sound of the sport exhaust found in the 2025 Black Edition S that I test drove. I would be really excited to hear the Akrapovic. I think that would be just right, honestly, because you have to keep in mind, these Bentleys, they are so quiet, they are so isolated, to the point where if you really want to hear the exhaust, you have to have the window down or you have to listen to it from the outside. So if you are more of a luxury enthusiast, you got to get the Akrapovic. I personally would definitely go for it. And it's really cool that a company like Bentley has partnered with Akrapovic to make an exhaust that's available to you from the factory, if you will. We still have 3 drive modes here. We have the Comfort and the Bentley mode, which the Bentley mode is the balanced mode, if you will. And both Comfort and the Bentley modes, they remain unchanged in terms of calibration compared to other Bentayga models. However, the Sport mode, it has been significantly enhanced, delivering increased steering response, road holding, and driver connection, all enhanced by a 15% increase in suspension and damping stiffness. And the Bentayga speed now includes all-wheel steering, and actually this is something that the 2025 Azure and S models of the regular Bentayga also got. All-wheel steering is really impressive because I remember this was initially unveiled on the extended wheelbase Bentayga, and that allowed that particular model to have a tighter turning radius than a standard wheelbase Bentayga, all because of the all-wheel steering. And to have the all-wheel steer in the standard wheelbase Bentaygas, I mean, it just makes these SUVs so easy to drive and to maneuver. And of course, in your everyday drive, when you take your left-hand, right-hand turns, these new Bentleys, they just pivot around the turns. It's a really satisfactory sensation. And even at the higher speeds, the rear wheels, they will steer in the same direction as the front wheels to improve the stability during your lane changes. And we are also able to get the optional carbon ceramic brakes. When you do, you have the selection of a ESC dynamic in the sport mode, which relaxes the ESC intervention so you can pull off some drift angles. And also included in the ESC dynamic programming is the launch control, which is the first ever in a Bentayga model. Regarding the exterior, we already talked about the darker brightware, which you will find throughout the exterior of the Bentayga Speed, along with the darker headlamps and tail lamps as well. You will also be getting 22-inch wheels as standard, but for the first time ever, you are able to get a 23-inch speed wheel. And these 23-inch wheels, they are only available when the carbon ceramic brakes are specified. Another option that's offered exclusively for the Bentayga Speed is the black roof, which is finished in either gloss or satin, depending on the chosen body finish. The interior of the Bentayga Speed features a speed-specific driver information display, speed badging, and speed embroidered emblem on the seat uppers. The familiar Bentley bullseye air vents, the organ stops, and the central air vents are finished in a darker chrome, and the seat shoulder panels, the door inners, the backboard for the 4-seat models all feature a new precision diamond cooled design. Love their diamond stitching. And for the upholstery, the speed color split features a darker secondary hide as the predominant color, and you have flashes of the main hide color on the seat outers, the door, and the instrument panel side as well. And that's everything you need to know regarding the 2026 Bentley Bentayga Speed. They have not unveiled the official pricing yet, although it's definitely going to cost more than $265,000 because that's about what the S Black Edition V8 goes for. So this new speed model, maybe it's 20 grand more, maybe it's going to start at around $285,000. We'll have to see. But it's rather interesting that Bentley did not give this vehicle the plug-in hybrid powertrain V8 found in the Flying Spur or the Continental GT. I think it's because the Lamborghini Urus, the other high-performance SUV in the Audi Porsche group, it already utilizes the 771 horsepower plug-in hybrid, so they didn't technically want this Bentayga speed to step on the Urus toes, but it's also interesting to note that the Porsche Cayenne is available with that plug-in hybrid V8 as well. It seems like with Bentley, they're trying to enhance the character of these vehicles more than anything because, yeah, for sure, compared to the Porsche brand, every Bentley just oozes character, both with the drive and also, of course, the interior space, really well crafted. Probably one of my most favorite automotive interiors for sure. I'm certainly not sad that the W12 is gone. In fact, this V8, I can already tell it's going to be incredible if you get that optional Akrapovic titanium exhaust. And a 0 to 60 time of like 3.4 seconds. That is quite rapid for an SUV of this size. But you want to know what's interesting? Car and Driver released an article of some of the quietest vehicles that they have ever tested. And you know what the #1 vehicle is on their list? It's the first generation Bentley Bentayga with the V8 engine. According to their test, they got 61 decibels at 70 miles per hour. Apparently, with their testing, the Bentayga was quieter than the Cullinan and even a new Rolls-Royce Spectre. That is wild. And yeah, I mean, after driving these cars, for sure, the Bentayga, I mean, all of the Bentleys are extremely silent vehicles, but what's really crazy to think about is Bentley actually has like this performance edge to them, unlike Rolls-Royce. With Rolls-Royce, it's easy. They have no sporting intention, so their goal is simply to make the quietest, plushest vehicles. And in fact, even with the tires that Rolls-Royce uses, I believe they insert some type of a foam into the tires to make them even quieter. With Bentley, they don't do that. They actually run high-performance Pirelli tires, and the vehicles are still this quiet. There is another level of refinement that can be unlocked and achieved with the Bentley lineup if you just swapped out those Pirelli tires to something else. That's crazy to think about. It's much more difficult to do the dual performance/comfort formula than just going straight for comfort and refinement like Rolls-Royce, yet Bentley has somehow, some way achieved one of the quietest results according to Car and Driver. So that was an interesting article. In my personal testing, I actually found the new 2025 Flying Spur with the plug-in hybrid V8 to be the quietest Bentley I've ever driven, but that's just me. I mean, at this point, at this level, we are really splitting hairs here. Any flagship vehicle is going to be extremely quiet and you're going to be really satisfied. But yeah, that's everything regarding the new Bentayga Speed. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. And as mentioned before, if you are actually in the market for one of these SUVs, you are able to place an order right now with Bentley of High Point, North Carolina. Once again, I will have Chris Rivas and his phone number on the screen and in the description box for you to contact. They are able to ship nationwide. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.